witches have the ability to do magical things and detect poisons. But if we did poison it and the attack failed, she would definitely kill my daughter.
She could probably purify it.
Well, that's a cleric thing.
Exactly. So she'd eat the dumb food, she'd die.
Well, detecting poisons is not a cleric thing. Just purifying the food is. Also, her garrison is huge. The nearby tower has over 35 guards in it.
That's not very many.
That's a lot of guards.
That is,
I don't know. I mean,
she looks in the clearing. There's 9 of you.
That is a lot of guards.
That's like half of them.
She says, well, on top of the 35 guards, she's also got a witch apprentice. His name is Radosik Pavril.
Ah, fuck these names, man.
Yes. Radosik is kind of a psychopath.
You can call him Ro. It's okay.
No,
if I was
you need to call him Radosik Pavril.
Puppies.
He insists on being called by his full name. He's a rather arrogant man who has recently begun using ice magic to create ice swords out of nothing. It's really terrifying. He also keeps a goat around that he sacrifices occasionally and then brings back to life.
That's creepy.
Does he eat the goat? Like, what does he do with it?
She says...
You just kill it for fun? That's fucked up.
She's like, I do not understand the way of witches. We'd have to ask him. And on top of that... Natalia Vasilievna is very strong in the witchery magic.
Okay.
She may have been sent out of Edison because of her... She, like, flips her ponytail around and is like, because of her political miscalculations. But she remains extremely powerful in the magic.
I find it interesting that she was able to get kicked out of what is relatively a civilian house or establishment, yet she comes out here and just magics everything and everyone obeys her. If I was
looks at you and is like, civilian establishment. The witches of Edison run literally everything. They are the government.
Wait, if she was kicked out of Edison and we are in Edison.
The capital city of Whitethrone. I apologize.
So this is sort of a punishment.
Kicked out of Whitethrone, yes. Being out here in the hinterlands of the Horrorwood is definitely a punishment.
Which part are we in right now?
He says, I don't have a map on me. We're in the Horrorwood part.
Well, maybe we can figure that out later when we get back to your town.
He says, we do not keep maps of the town.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be responsible.
She says, I do not think you understand how the government in Edison works.
No, we don't.
She says, okay, imagine a military theocracy run by an incredibly powerful cast of magic users.
Okay. Continue.
That's it. That is the government.
That's not really a government. That's more of a tyrannical reign with people.
And she looks at you and says, yes, it is the reign of winter.
And then I look at the camera and go, he said the name of the show.
Roll credits.
Yep. Mid-season break right there.
No.
Come back next season.
No.
Everyone's dead.
No. She says, okay, so we got up to the part about how I am awesome. Because apparently I'm the only person in the village who does anything.
Well, I don't know.
Ponytail also has never been explained. Even though I'm like in my 30s, apparently I've never cut my hair ever. I'm basically Rapunzel.
Do you get superpowers from that?
No, I get my children captured by witches.
Maybe you should cut your hair and your children will come back.
She says, I don't think that's how it works. Let me tell you what happened to my daughter.
Yeah, okay.
And so at this point, like, all the tents are set up, and now you guys are, like, around a fire. And the other guardsmen are, like, out chopping down trees to, like, feed the wood for the fire. And she says, there is a tiny spirit who used to live in my house. I called him Little Butler. He would clean things up for me and look after the children. He joined us after my husband died. He is a kind-hearted fae. Unfortunately, he's also a trickster, and he would say things to my daughter, and they would have little jokes. unfortunately, he began teaching her jokes about white witches and winter witches. And my daughter repeated one of these jokes, little Thora, repeated it in front of Natalia Vasilyovna while she was visiting. And so Ms. Vasilyovna took my daughter and is using her against me because my daughter made a crack about a witch's heart. It's no
That
big
guy
deal,
sounds a
though.
lot like my uncle.
All I need to do is keep bringing food, and my daughter will be fine. But then she, like, wraps her arms around Eviega and Mason and says, now that the two of you are here, I am sure you can kill the witch. The witch will be dead. I will get my daughter back, and then I will go through this portal, and I will live on the other side with my children. And everything will be great. Nothing
I have a
bad will
question
ever
for
happen.
you.
About that.
Just a quick one before you continue. How important is your daughter to you?
Pretty important.
Okay, so if she dies, like, out of 1 to 10, how upset will you be?
At 11.
You asked the parent this?
Yeah, like while
I
you're
don't know, she
saying
seems
that,
like a terrible mother.
while you're saying that, she's sharpening a hand axe and looking at you, and the edge of the hand axe is glinting in the firelight.
God!
Well, I don't know. I mean, if we have to kill the witch, but we have to go through the kid, I mean, it's nice to know this information ahead of time.
You are just sick.
Well, what happens? What happens if she's like being groomed by the witch to become a witch?
She says, my daughter has never displayed any capabilities in witchcraft.
She might be really good with her tongue, like telling jokes and stuff.
That's called a bard.
Maybe she's magical bard. Then.
So when you guys start talking about bards, someone pokes their head around a tree. Can everyone make a perception check?
Did someone say bar? I happen to be one. Perception. Alright.
Cloud.
I don't see anything. I never do.
Never see nothing.
I can't see anything because of her hair in my face.
Just
I
whip
think-
her hair around.
The blizzard's coming in. It's harder to see things.
Is her name
Yeah,
Willow?
if you hadn't noticed her hair before now, yeah, she makes sure you notice her hair by now.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, I lost the big image. There it is.
Why? Why? Why?
I have so many questions about this picture.
Just a second. Unfortunately, my PDF crashed, so I gotta reopen it. What happens is you start talking about bards, and a bard does literally step around the corner.
Yeah, if you say bard 3 times, which we did, go back into the thing and check it later, people.
Nice.
A bard is.
Isn't that how you send her back? You say her name 3 times too? Just like
You have to
Beetlejuice?
say bard backwards 3 times.
So, when this person steps around the corner, the following people catch it early. No one. You all fail.
Oh.
Okay. So, Nadia senses this person coming and is like, shh, 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 don't. And with the flaming sword that she's holding, she kind of like steps around from behind a tree, and there's an aura of light around her reflecting off of all the snows. And she says, the name is Meryl and Delarin.
Why does
Do you
everyone
mind
have
if I
fucking-
share your... And then she like looks at the campfire and she's like,
Sure, why not?
Nadia like looks at you like, but then is like, of course, honored guest.
Who are you?
She says, I just told you my name. My name
Yeah.
is Meryl Endelin.
That's
Do you
right.
have, like,
I
a
know your
daughter
name, but I
one?
don't know who you are.
So she like pulls up a log and sets it like 10 feet from the fire, so that she can see all of you and isn't anywhere close to the fire, and like pushes her sword hilt into the ice so that the flame goes out, and now she's just got a sword hilt. She says, My apologies. The fire makes me nervous.
Yeah, the
Do you
fire
not
still-
recognize me? And Nadia's like, oh, they are my cousins traveling from nearby lands.
Don't fucking
of course
lie.
I recognize you.
God damn it.
Shut up.
Do I look like I'm related to this woman?
I'm
honestly-
holding Mason's beak shut.
Mason.
I'm just one hand
Okay.
clamped his beak shut.
Why don't you make a CMB roll?
Oh,
All right.
Oh, this ain't gonna go good.
you can do it, Dan.
Come on, Dan.
And rolls the 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
Can I
mother's,
add my smite bonuses to this?
No, because he's not evil.
my mother's mother was
Ah.
once
No, you fucked
for
up.
the Tengu.
Okay, like you reach over to close his mouth, and his mouth is just moving so fast you can't get your hand around it. And she's like, "Oh, that's interesting. So you're not from around here, then, Tengu?"
How many Tengus have you seen in here? I mean, if there's a
Actually,
giant-
there's quite a few Tengus in White Throne.
Oh, that's interesting. Whereabouts are they?
As well, they're in White Throne.
Yes, which direction?
He points west.
Oh,
They're
we're-
that way.
How many leagues or whatever you guys use in this game?
She like raises one of her demure eyebrows at you.
Like she uses her finger to do it.
No. She's just like. And then she looks over at Nadia, and Nadia's like, "This is the military government of Irison."
Don't worry about our friend. He just got hit in the head too many times.
Actually, I haven't been hit once. Actually, no, there was that one time I fell out of the, and then a skeleton
the
hit
gas.
me.
Nadia's like, "You should know that Miss Ardillane here is a government functionary."
Oh, that's very nice. I have some question about your government.
So Mero's like, "Oh, that's interesting. What would you like to know?"
Yes, how many people get appointed into the government? Do they have to be like a certain level of witch? Like, what level of witch goes into the government?
It's like, interesting that you would come to this country without any knowledge of that.
Yeah, that's kind of funny how that works.
He says, in order to become a member of the government, you must be a grandson or granddaughter of Baba Yaga or somewhere along the family tree of that.
So it's not really elected officials then.
She says, elections? This is the land of Irison. Witches
Elections?
rule.
Elections? Only Andorin does elections. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she's like, elections? There's literally only one country in the entire world that does that.
And they
Well, I
worship
happen to be
birds.
from it, apparently. So.
There's only one country that does that, and they worship birds.
They worship a bird. And that's an eagle, not a tengu. Tengus are ravens.
Close enough.
Well, they're crows.
Well, that's all well and interesting. I mean,
caca.
I'm like, yeah. It's like,
so how many are there in this tree?
She's like, there's several thousand.
all right, I take out a book and I'm
In a
like,
tree?
Several thousand witches.
He needs to write things down or he forgets for later. A little bit of short-term memory loss.
So she, I think she says something humorous. I don't know exactly what it'd be, but something that... She's a bard, so she would say something that makes him look like an idiot that he probably wouldn't understand, but everybody else would.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
but you don't actually see it on top of the page. It says to kill. And then I write several thousand witches.
Your hit list, huh? Your hit list?
Yeah, my hit list.
Your Game of Thrones in it, like, you know, King Joffrey, the Hound.
Yeah, every night I just say several thousand witches.
God. Oh, we're so screwed.
Okay, so,
Yep.
I mean, while you're talking, she pulls out a lute and starts playing and, like, singing along occasionally while you're speaking to her. You know, when she's not talking, she's, like, singing something gently.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, what's interesting is in this scene, if there was a bard at a campfire, right? Normally, everyone would be super happy to see them and enjoying the music, but the 4 guardsmen who are escorting the caravan and mounting the dog sleds are all like absolutely terrified of her and sitting on the far side of the fire, keeping it between them and her.
I'm curious what the move action detect evil is. Is that a supernatural ability?
I'm gonna go sit next to her, Arthur.
Spell like
Okay, you're pulling a log over there or something.
Yep, just like noisily while she's like playing a thing.
Do I
Okay.
make noise detecting evil?
No, but it is obvious you're doing it. You lock eyes with somebody for 6 seconds.
And then you start blowing kisses at them for a while.
Maybe he just thinks she's hot.
It's a spell-like ability. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start asking her questions like friendly stuff where you learn to play, etc. But meanwhile, just maintain
Yeah, you're detecting
creepy
evil.
eye contact with my cataracts.
Yeah, you do not detect evil on her.
Alright.
You know what? Why don't you make a will save, actually? I think that's how this works.
Yeah, she's counter seducing you.
Counter seducing.
Okay.
Watch him
that's
feel it.
Yeah, like I fail all my rolls.
I'm rooting for you, Dan.
That's not D20.
How quickly does Dan die from this, by the way?
Ooh.
You know, he is the healer, right?
Okay, yeah, she does not appear to be evil. So, when you come up, Mason, she's like, so what is your profession here? You seem to be competent at something, I
So,
assume. Or
if
your
there's any
fellow
sort of-
companions wouldn't keep you around.
Yeah, if there's any sort of like slop or whatever being served for dinner or something like that, I'm just sitting there, I'm eating it. I pull up next to her, I just start eating it. It's like, oh, I'm a witch hunter.
She's like, you're a witch hunter.
Yes.
She says you're aware that such a profession is highly illegal in Irison.
Oh, I know.
Okay. How exactly do you hunt witches? And like, so you've got a notebook out where you've been writing down like how to kill witches and where they are. And
Yep.
she pulls out her notebook and she's like, so how exactly do you kill witches?
Mason, you fool.
Well, normally you stab them.
Should
Maybe
we-
with like some sort of nail or something like that from a burning witch's cross. You know, when you get them and you use them, and they're super effective to kill witches and that
Start
sort of stuff.
backing up a little bit. Just start backing up a little bit from the campfire.
She's like, oh, I see.
I'm so far away I can't see any of
You don't
this
use
on the
any
foresight.
other... You have no special powers to kill witches? You're just a normal man?
Mason?
I'm actually a king, in case you hadn't noticed.
She says, you all look the same to me.
So do you. I was afraid because that might have been racist if I said it first.
She says, I look the same to you.
Yes.
Wait, so we all look like birds?
So, I want to just pull her picture up again. She looks the same as a human to you, then. Just
And an elf.
there.
And everything else.
Yeah. Anything without feathers, normally I just...
The hooves and the reverse jointed legs. Just,
What knowledge is it, Arthur, for Faye?
Nature, isn't it?
She is not a fae.
Okay, what knowledge is it for her?
It would be nature or planes because of the way her thing went.
Try to roll knowledge check.
But while you're doing that, let's cut sideways and continue the conversation with Mason because this is super important. The next
This is really
important.
next
good.
few things he says are really important. So she's like,
Oh, God.
so you don't have any special powers or anything. You just fight witches using your own strength.
Mason.
Yeah, pretty much. What do you want?
She says, would you say that you are a warrior or a fighter?
Aren't they the
I
same
did the
thing?
same thing.
Well, she's
Everyone
like,
in the party
as a
said that.
bard, I would point out that a warrior wars while a fighter fights.
Yeah.
What if I
Warriors
told
tend
you
to be
I'm a
useless.
hunter of witches?
And then I like tap my nose or my beak, I guess. And go back to eating
Well,
McDonald's.
a powerful hunter of witches like yourself, you must have very strong allies. What can you tell me about your allies? What are their abilities?
I
Well,
do not give you
that
clearance
one-
to talk about
Shit,
me.
shit.
over
Yeah.
there,
I point to Evie Yeager. He's like,
He's pretty good with a bow and arrow, you know.
He's
Pew
like,
pew.
that is a woman.
Really? Oh man.
No
Yeah,
holds
to be
barred.
honest though, I've barely noticed her. I guess.
I'm an elf.
So Meryl looks at you and she's like, yes, I can understand why you think that everyone looks the same if you cannot tell a man from a woman.
We told you he got hit in the head. He's special.
She's
Can I
like,
tackle
no, keep talking. I'm learning so much. You,
Oh,
tell me more about the elf over there. What did
I
you
wanna
say that their
tackle-
combat abilities were?
Well, she shoots lasers out of a bow.
That doesn't sound right.
I want to tackle Mason.
At this point, Graham, Mason is
I'm
going.
not Graham.
Fucking, I'm sorry.
Arthur.
It's been so long since I played in one of your games, Arthur. So excuse me. Let's see here. I'm going
bro.
to sense motive.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Need a 20 here.
13.
Yeah, you try to sense motive. It's obvious she's trying to get the information out of you, just like you're trying to get information out of her. To what purpose, you have no idea.
Okay. All right. And then I'm like,
Well, before I go into it, why don't you tell me a bit about maybe your weaknesses?
She's like, my weaknesses? No. I'm not looking for your weaknesses. Tell me more about your friends. I'm a bard. I'm just writing stories about them.
Oh, what have you got so far?
She says, well, I've got that your name is Mason, and you are a great hunter of witches. You kill them with swords.
It's a scimitar.
Your friend Eviega shoots bows with flaming arrows.
Laser arrows, actually.
He says, yes, flaming arrows.
It is a laser.
Do you know what a laser is?
He says, actually, no. Only people from Numeria know what lasers are.
Well,
Well, how'd you know that?
Because she is a bard.
Because I'm a bard, yes, precisely.
all
I
right,
have meta knowledge because
Then
I'm a
what-
bard.
all right. Chaz over there, he's a good guy. He
Did
pretty
not give you
much
clearance to talk about
likes to.
I like
I
how
mean-
you're like, I don't give you clearance. My background is classified, okay?
Don't be
I
such
left
a
my dog
spoils.
tags at home for this mission.
Dude, I take a drink out of a little skin that I have that has meat or whatever in it, and I seriously want to tackle Mason
Okay,
at this point.
all right,
What?
make a CMB roll.
good luck.
He's 10 feet away talking to the bard on a log, and you scatter across the ground, you trudge directly toward him, the fire lights between, like behind you, so Mason is like looking at this encroaching shadow of a bird approaching him. Roll CMB, let's see what happens.
Is it 1d20 plus
Plus your CMB bonus, yes.
Which is Bab and strength.
24?
Yeah, you totally fucking demolish him.
Can I do a CM?
Mason!
What
I'm
are you
like
doing,
drunk.
Mason?
Can I do a CMD?
Well, CMD is a set number. You can do a CMB to try to take control of the grapple, yes.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. You're like fighting on the ground. The
No, I do
four
it
guy-
in like a drunken huggy way.
Oh, okay. So the 4 guardsmen are all like absolutely terrified now, and Nadia's got her hand on one of her axes. And
Just
Meryl's
shaking my
like,
head.
"What the hell is going on here?"
Mason, I love you!
They have weird.
What?
bird-
I'm like crawling away, trying to get away.
Yeah, make your CMB roll, Mason.
I think you should leave. They're going to start mating here in a little bit. We think we're going to start disappearing ourselves too. We're going to pull back.
Oh, I am 35.
What is your CMB, Kath? I'm pretty sure it's gonna beat it.
I move 5 feet away and I can no longer see what's happening.
18.
Yeah. So Mason escapes from the grapple.
It's
Ooh.
basically imagine it like I get tackled to the ground and I'm like trying to crawl away, and I use my back leg to kick her in the face over and over again as I get away.
Okay. So Meryl's like, I am a bard. I don't know a lot about Tengu mating habits, but I'm fairly certain it doesn't look like this. I feel like you guys are being dishonest with me.
No, not at all.
She gets feely when
she
she's
just raises. So before she raised like her right eyebrow, now she raises her left eyebrow, and she's like, "Of course."
That's a neat
Well,
trick you can do.
I do have a bow, so he's,
She's like, oh, okay. Well, Eviega, was it? Why don't we talk while the two Tengu do whatever they're doing? And remember, the two of them are like wrestling on the ground and trying to like overpower each other, literally feet from her. And she's still just like on her legs crossed, occasionally playing the lute and making notes on the journal in her lap. And she's like, Eviega, what can you tell me about your group's history? Have you seen any combat action before?
Are we still rolling around on the ground?
Yeah.
So
You'll
can I
stop
like
when you guys are done fighting? Let me know.
can I like whisper to Mason?
Yes.
Mason,
All right, Chaz. Fine. We'll
swear
put
to
that
God.
22 knowledge in play. No,
I
go
think she's
ahead.
working
Gamer
for the
Center.
witch. I think she's working for the witch.
I just fucking like whatever wrestle maneuver I'm doing like at the moment. I just fucking deadpan her and I go,
No shit.
Yeah,
Who's the Inquisitor here?
you're the one that's
The
giving up
Inquisitor
all the
who failed
information.
his sense motive check. Just to throw that out there.
You're giving up all the information. You really should keep your mouth shut. I mean, beak shut. Whatever.
All right, Chaz.
oh
You
god.
roll planes or nature?
Planes.
Okay. This is a forlorn. They are what happens when a nymph has a relationship with a fiendish evil creature. They have a strong negative energy connection to nature. Everything that they touch around them tends to start dying. They're rejected by the world around them, even though they typically become druids. And so they're often very sad creatures. She's also a cold fae, so she's winter touched, which means, as you learned earlier in the campaign, that means she accepted a sliver of ice directly into her soul, placed there by a winter witch.
Can we do anything about that?
Do you have the magic that would allow you to reach into somebody's heart and pull a piece of ice out?
I can drive a nail in
Oh,
there.
I see what you did there, Arthur.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you can drive a nail into its heart, I'm pretty sure she will no longer be a living winter-touched fae.
You have a good point there.
Yes. And as you probably have surmised, she is a bard.
Yep.
You have one question. Do you have anything you'd like to ask?
Do you take requests?
Do you have any songs about gas horses?
What is a gas horse? I don't understand.
The guy was riding a horse made out of gas.
So, just to clarify, she's
Yeah.
part fae, part evil outsider?
Yes.
But no detect evil.
No detect evil.
As
Nope.
far as I know. But she's winter touched.
Yes. So she
It's
should
just-
show up as evil, but she doesn't.
Curiouser and curiouser.
I would point out, again, that detect evil has a hard limit as to what works. And she counts as a fae, which means she doesn't automatically show up if she were evil.
Right. There's like a hit die limit.
Yes.
Special ability?
She is a bard, so she has the following special attacks. Bardic Performance, Fascinate, Inspire Courage, and as a winter-touched fae, she has the Numbing Cold ability, where things that she hit need to make a fort save or get staggered.
Alright, fair enough. I'll relay this information after all the shenanigans are over. And we're maybe hundreds of feet away.
So, you can relay that information whenever you want. She doesn't seem to be leaving the camp for the night. She's still sitting there talking to you guys.
Well, yeah, she has to share the camp, so
Yes. Who wants to go next, since Chaz is apparently ceding control of the conversation?
Maybe Nadia knows something that we don't.
Nadia, are you whispering that? Like
Yeah,
Nadia's
it's Mason.
Nadia rolls her eyes and is like, "Of course I know things that you don't. This is my country."
It seems
Then
to me
what
that
should
she
we
might
know
ran
about?
into her before.
What should we know about her? Is she under the employ of Mistress Vasilievna?
So she's like, Nadia says, "I'm not sure who is employing her. Simply that she works for the government in some capacity.
Government.
She may work for Ms. Vasilievna."
Remind me, is that the witch?
Yes.
Okay.
She says, "Are you sure you don't want to take notes? You guys seem to have some trouble with this stuff."
The names are confusing as hell.
I agree.
It makes a lot of sense. They are all Russian,
She says, "No, we're not Russian, we're Irison.
but they
If
have.
you want Russians, you have to travel to the continent of Kazmaron."
Is that?
We have
It's
a
like,
note
that's the
speak.
continent, several thousand miles east of here, where Russians live. It is a wide open frozen country full of trees and angry centaurs. Frost giants. Everyone there lives in a communal society and they are all unhappy all of the time.
Well, what do we
All
do?
right. Well, I guess if I'm barred from talking
Alright,
to her,
I've
I'm
apparently
gonna
gotten the
do
name wrong 3 times so far. It's been Natalia and Natasha. It's actually Najena Vasilievna.
Oh, that makes it so much better.
I know.
Can I get a spelling on that?
Najena
Yeah.
Is that the redhead?
Najia.
Wow, you think that's a
Najia?
redhead? Seriously.
It says
Nope.
blonde.
Take notes. Take notes.
I'm doing that.
Najena
As-
Vasilievna is the witch who is in control of this area. Her apprentice is Radosek Pavril. The redhead here is
She's blonde.
Nadia Petska.
Okay, so that's the right name. Okay.
Nadia.
And the bard's name is Miral Enderin.
I got that.
Yeah, I see you taking notes.
Alright, are we all caught up?
Pretty much.
Alright, good. Because Nadia Petska has a daughter, Thora, and twin
Mhm.
boys. Okay, good.
Thora.
The
Daughter's
daughter,
face?
the daughter
One
is a captive of Najena Vasilievna. Boom. Now we have the relationship circle complete. And I think probably Meryl is like listening while Nadia fills you in and is nodding and is like, that sounds about the right. So, do you have any other questions for me? I would like to know so much more about the rest of you.
I think we've
Yeah,
given you
you're
enough
scary.
without you giving us something.
She says, are you sure? I wish to know more about the other bird and about the... What was your name? Chaz.
You
Yeah,
learn
one at a
nothing about
time.
me.
You tell us something now.
People have taken to calling me Chaz.
What would you like your name to actually be, not Chaz?
Can we
Dear
call you
Paul.
Jorge?
Jorge? Really? I don't think that's anything close to what his real name is. His real name is like Chadwick Dunthorpe, right? What is his name, Dan? Just give us the
That's
name.
it.
I don't want to Jack Bauer you here, but give me the name!
Chazon.
Okay, Chazon. She's like, oh, Chazon, I see. Interesting. Chazon, why don't you tell me more about yourself?
I wouldn't.
She turns toward you, Kath, and is like, why wouldn't you tell me more about yourself, Kath?
Because you're creepy.
He says, interesting, you believe that I'm creepy. What
Daddy.
gives you that impression?
Because look at you, you're creepy.
He's like, in my land, you look creepy.
I
You
am
think-
creepy.
So she's like, you should be a little more open-minded. She's like, starts saying open-minded, and then she starts laughing. She's like, who am I kidding?
Yeah, who are you kidding?
You.
I'm not kidding.
You're kidding yourself.
I am not.
Nope.
So she turns to Mason and is like, so, what do you know about Kath? You seem to be very close to her.
Shh.
No, it's
You-
fine.
It's fine. I can't actually remember the backstory.
So she's not really asking about the backstory. She's like, no, I don't need to know your history. Just tell me what type of combat ability she has.
Well, let me
Mason.
tell you about why I got this long red hair. You see, I haven't cut it since I was a child.
She's looking at you and she's like, you do not have red hair. You have black feathers.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got confused.
I love you, Dave. Seriously.
Oh,
She wants to know my.
What do you want to know?
combat
I mean, I'm willing to be open here, but you got to give me something.
She
This
says,
is a give
oh,
and take.
okay, I can give you something. And she starts telling you the tale. It's called the Saga of Burnt Njal. It's a
That ain't
saga of a
nothing.
man who attempts to oppose the Winter Witches. They burn down his house, and they take all of his children, and they make a house out of, like a front door, out of the children's bones,
Oh, that's
and
creepy.
then make the front part of the house out of the children's skin sewn together.
You really are creepy.
And like at the end of the story, she's laughing, and all of the men in the back are like, "Yeah, we've heard this one before. Yeah, yeah."
I'm sort of like scratching the bottom of my beak, and I'm like,
Well, I don't have a house, and I don't have any kids, so I think I'll be okay. I think that's what you were trying to do,
So,
but I think
so like when she finishes the story, she turns her head towards Nadia and goes, "Nadia, how is your daughter?"
Oh, you didn't know she's a
Oh.
terrible mother. She
You
got it
didn't
taken
know
away
that.
from her, and she doesn't actually visit her other kids too. We've known her for like 2 hours, and she's told us that already.
Shut
She
up,
seems
Mason.
kind of proud of it.
Mason.
Wow, everyone here is shocked at like all the revelations coming from everybody here. Like
No,
the guards
everybody-
are all white faced. Nadia is like on the verge of, like, one hand is ready to like throw the hatchet at somebody, and the other she's like about to cry. 'Cause you're
Mason.
literally like, yeah, she's a terrible mother.
Ah,
And the bard
She
is
is.
like actually laughing out loud right now. She's
I think
like,
Mason's
delicious,
lost.
delicious. So
I think
good.
Mason has
delicious.
lost.
What are you eating?
I think Mason has lost talking privileges.
Why don't you make him stop talking?
Gladly.
This is the interesting part about
I
Pathfinder,
tried.
is that there's no like non-social recourse to things. Violence is the solution to many things. So if he wants to be an asshole, like, you have to solve that out of character. Because in character, there's no like, I make you shut up.
You just
Yeah.
beat him
Like
up.
there could be in, let's say, Saga of the Icelanders, where you can make people shut up by scaring the shit out of them.
Nope.
It's like
what were you trying to do exactly?
Roughly
to-
lead you to the other side of the fire.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
No.
You try to like pick Mason up and pull him away, and it's just like, have you seen these videos where like kids just like fall limply on the floor and their parents try to like pick them up and lead them away? That's Mason.
Now
He's
here's
just
actually
like, no, I'm not going. I'm not going.
Here's what I imagine actually happens. He tries to pick me up, but then he comes off and it's like his hand is all like oily and shit from like holding my feathers and stuff. And he's just like,
Ugh.
Chazon. I think the fire's getting low. Maybe we should get some more firewood, you and I.
That would be wise.
Interesting. So,
You should kill.
the bard is actually like, no need, I'll get it for you. And she holds out her hand, and the loot disappears, and she summons an enormous double bass. And then she tosses it to Nadia, who begins breaking it up with the hatchet and throws it on the fire.
Oh, that's cool.
Like,
Creative.
I am a bard. No need to go away. Why don't you tell me more about yourself, Chazon?
Yeah, she said,
Motion
she said
toward
that
my
song.
eyes.
Your turn.
Well, I think these tell the story well enough.
That was terrible. Are you trying to
She's
seduce
like,
me? That's bad.
I don't understand. I don't
I'm-
get it.
I lean over to her and I say very loudly,
He's trying to seduce you with his eyes.
She's like,
Yes,
oh.
my blind, cataract-filled eyes.
She's like, oh, you're blind. So
Oh,
what
he's
kind
blind.
of combat abilities do you have? It's not often you see a blind adventurer.
Being blind? mostly restricted.
He says, "Oh, I understand. But, you know, for someone who is blind, you were incredibly fast-moving and were able to almost tackle Mason. Do you have some combat training, I suspect? Otherwise, you wouldn't be traveling to a wintry land of death and witches and attempting to oppose them."
His special power is that he can see.
He's like, "Oh, that's interesting. So he's not as blind as he appears to be.
Ah, shut up, Mason.
What exactly is your other powers, then?"
Not
No,
much
I
to tell,
thought-
really. Served in the militia.
I hear it's Nanya.
What country was that for?
Don't see why it matters now.
None your business.
She's like, "Well, you know, foreign nationals on our soil, no reason not to know where they're from."
I'm not part of the militia anymore. I'm an adventurer.
Like, "Oh, okay, alright. Alright, okay."
I want to walk up to.
How much combat training would you say you have?
Enough.
Seen a lot of action?
Enough.
About 2 levels worth.
She's like, "I can't write a song about you if you don't tell me anything."
Don't you want a song written about you? I do.
Not really.
He's
She's
just
like,
gonna be
"Okay."
that Stevie Wonder.
Stephen.
And so she finally turns to look at Kath and is like, "You're obviously a monk. You're not wearing any armor. And
I don't know what you're talking about. I
you were
just think
wrestling your companion earlier. Obviously a monk. Just
I like wrestling. It's cool.
yes. I would like to thank you all. I've learned so much about each and every one of you
I
and
take
your
a drink,
names."
walk up to her.
I like your fashion. It's very nice.
Fashion tips for the Tengu, please.
Where'd you get it?
What did you say was very nice?
Your fashion. It's very nice.
He says, "Yes, I made it myself."
Can I have it?
He's like, "What? My cloak? My
Yeah,
jewels?
you-
My dress?"
Yes. Can I have it?
No,
Why not?
because
You
it's mine.
obviously are made of something special. You don't like fire.
Says, "Yes, fire is dangerous to my people."
Well, you must be cold then, so you don't need clothes.
He says, "I must be cold, so I don't need clothes."
Right, can I have it?
If it's cold and I must need clothes, why would you want my clothes?
Because you don't like warmth, because you got rid of your fire.
She
You can't
looks
be
at
that
you and
much.
she's like, "I understand
Is this
what it is
hard?
you're trying to say, but what you're actually saying is very different."
You don't understand.
She says, "No, I think I do understand. Perhaps far more than you realize."
So can I have your clothes?
No,
Why not?
because I need them.
For what?
Jesus.
Like,
Please.
you like the
Why
cool?
does anyone need clothes? I need them to cover myself, and also, my clothes are, as you can see, very fancy. I
know,
am
can I
a
have them?
performer in the courts of the Winter Witches. If I am not properly dressed, I will not be accepted.
Can we Rochambeau for him?
No.
I have a question for you.
Yes?
You said you were a performer in the court of the witches, right?
Oh, yes.
Was this by choice, or do you...
I love my job.
What is your job?
Sense motive on that.
She says, my job is
Yeah, all right.
storytelling.
I'll do a sense motive on that.
Sure.
If you don't.
Don't lie to me. I'll know.
Yes, you learn that she does love her job.
Okay.
Not lying about loving her job.
And then my next question would be,
So who are you going to tell all this information to?
She says, "Oh, don't worry about that. When I am finished my song, everyone will know about you."
Everyone, including the witches?
She says, "All people everywhere will one day know of you. I assure you of it."
Totally the witches. She works for them.
She's like looking at you and she says, "Yes, I just said I work for the witches.
Keep up,
I-
Kath.
I said that many times and repeated it less than 30 seconds ago."
English, common is not our first language.
Kath is totally drunk at this point.
He's like, well, I had so much fun here tonight, but I can tell that you're uncomfortable by my presence. I'll move on to the nearby town of Waldsby.
Goodbye, weird person.
Are you letting her leave?
Are you?
Did you say that out loud?
No.
Okay. Then she gets up and leaves because no one moves to stop her because you never actually say that. Although if you did say that out loud, it would make for an interesting situation.
I said goodbye, weird person.
Yeah, she like gets up and waves and starts like humming to herself and disappears back into the night.
That was a lovely conversation.
So it's like a reverse version of the Star Wars Force Awakens trailer. She like walks around a tree and you hear the hum of her like flame blade kick back on.
I have this feeling we're gonna be screwed.
Yep. Mason.
What? You shoot lasers out of your bow. What more of a lie could you want? You have a bow sticking on your back.
That's Eviega. I don't shoot lasers.
How do you know? You can't see, apparently.
Obviously, you can't see either, Mason.
No, Mason can see perfectly fine. Problem is he can't think.
But I can't even do it.
Well, as far as
Nadia
I'm concerned,
is like
the quicker that we get the
crying at
witches
this
to come out, the
Nadia's
quicker we can
crying
kill
and is
them.
like, that was not handled very well at all.
Yeah, he won't.
Yeah, that reminds me, Mason, first of all, you have to apologize to Nadia.
I don't gotta do shit.
Yeah, you do.
He's like, no, it's fine. I understand. He clearly has some sort of touched by the gods situation.
Definitely.
You can say that.
I think in the future I am not going to share any information that could ever be used against me at all in his presence.
I wouldn't if I were
Probably
you.
for the best.
Mason has a loose beak.
Very loose. It's a wonder how it's still attached to his head.
Loose hinges.
I tend to climb trees when giant weasels come out of the forest.
I think it's got a screw loose.
Several screws.
Can we just walk back through the portal? No, just kidding.
And die horrible deaths.
This never happened.
I like the idea of like you go back to the portal, you have to perform a quick time event, and like if you succeed, you get a game over, and if you fail, the game continues.
Y, X, A, B, left, up, down.
I think it's probably just hit the Y button a lot.
Yeah, just
And
stop
then-
the fish from plowing into the ground. Yeah.
And then they throw a bee in there while you're hitting all the Ys. And then you're like, oh, I didn't see the bee coming.
Someone pushed the save button before we like walked in the portal, right?
Oh,
So we
no,
can
no.
reload?
Nobody saves.
Ah, damn it!
Yeah,
Dave
there's
never
no
saves.
quick-
Alright,
There's no quick save.
conversation too meta.
Yeah.
Back to the conversation with Nadia. Nadia's like, well, I suppose we should probably prepare to move on the Nazhena Vasilyevna's White Tower sooner rather than later. I'm afraid that the defenses will probably be improved, and they almost certainly have a complete breakdown of who you are, where you come from, and all of your combat abilities.
Thank you, Mason.
What about the blizzard?
She's like, it will be upon us within the hour.
She's probably gonna leave us out here.
So Nadia's like, who's going to leave you out here?
Are you? Because Mason was being a jerk.
Well, Mason being a jerk doesn't mean I would treat you rudely.
You're so nice.
She's like, yeah, I'm pretty much perfect. Like
Perfect!
most, she flips her ponytail around and says, like most Adventure Pass, the female character that premieres in the first book is always unusually good-looking, super nice, and ridiculous.
What's the first book?
Don't worry about it. Just go talk to Mako.
Or,
So this is a Pathfinder Adventure Path thing. Like, all the Adventure Paths, like,
Or send
I think
her
almost
Quinn.
every single one of them has a female character in the first book that is super nice, super attractive, always helps the party, has some sort of unusual combat ability, and
Always
Yeah.
gets treated like shit.
Skulls
Yeah.
and Shackles was the healer, right?
yeah, Skulls and Shackles
Yep.
is Sandar Quinn,
Sandar
and
Quinn.
then
Rise of the Rune
Sandar
Lords
Quinn
does that
comes
better.
back later. Nadia Petska and Ameko in Jade Regent and Rise of the Rune Lords. And I think there's a female resistance fighter in the Cheliax one, West Crown.
Well,
And
it is
Serpent
written by
Skull.
boys.
Actually,
Actually, no.
some of them aren't, but I think all the ones I've listed so far were written by men, yes.
Yeah.
Rise
Crystal
of the
Fraser
Rune-
Adventures are the best, though. Crystal Fraser, I love you. You're the best Paizo writer ever.
Which ones has he done?
Crystal Fraser is a woman, and all of the ones that
Shaven.
she does are murderous. They're
Oh,
pretty
that's-
much the hardest scenarios and modules.
So is
So-
Skulls
That makes sense.
is that hers?
I think she did Tarn at Silver Lake and a couple others. I think she did at least one book of Reign of Winter.
Really?
Yeah. Might be book 4. No, it's not book 4. Apparently it's not any of them. Okay, well anyway, she's a really good writer who murders lots of players. So basically my number 1 go-to writer.
What a surprise!
Whenever I want to kill players, I'm like, hey guys, let's run a Crystal Fraser adventure.
Sounds amazing.
Which one? Doesn't matter. Let's just pick this one. It's all the same.
Which one? Doesn't matter. You're all
All right.
gonna die.
So now that we've had this super meta discussion, I think it's time to take a break because we only have about another hour left.
Woo!
And we've been going for about 2 hours. So I'm
There you
going to
go.
take off my Nadia Petska hat, or as it's known, Russian lesson, Uyushanka.
Oh, Shanka.
Yeah, it's sent
Shanka.
by babushkas, like grandmothers, to little boys and girls to protect their ears from the Siberian frostbite so they don't die a horrible death.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, that's a thing. Let me pull up the timer here. Hopefully you're enjoying the adventure so far. Or
I think Chad
you're
is.
screaming at Mason from your television screen. You're literally
Can it be
going,
both?
damn it, Mason.
Can it be both?
Well, I don't know what you wanted. I mean, Mason has told literally everyone he's ever met what he is in this game, like every single time.
Yeah,
Without
it's
failure.
fantastic. I like
like-
your commitment to sticking to character. It will not be horribly abused.
We need
Probably not.
we need to invent duct tape just so we can wrap it around his beak.
Would it
while
be
he's-
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I was about to say it's going to be called Tengu tape.
Tengu tape. Because it's duct tape.
There's
Get
got to
it?
be duct tape already because
Duct tape because they think it's birds and
Well,
duct tape.
in Numeria they have laser cannons and space robots, and in Alkenstar they have firearms and clockwork machinery. So there's definitely duct tape somewhere.
Just not here.
Yeah, duct tape. It's good from AK-47 to 747s.
Oh, I saw that picture with the 747. Crazy.
All right, guys, we'll be back in about 7 minutes. Join us when we get back. Things will happen. I have no idea where this game goes anymore. So, #fuck life.
Okay.
No.
Wow. I just opened up Reddit for 1 second.